Pokebabs! Hello and welcome back to the Pokebabs channel. Today we're going to take a look at the deck that I actually did decide to use for the June PokeBeach online tournament. And like I said before, I had been considering Wailord, and I was considering Quad Zoroark deck, and I just wasn't having fun with anything in the format, and I was struggling against a lot of the main archetypes just in testing. And so I decided to go a little bit on a limb here, and I did it based off the fact that actually it was a friend of mine. I've had a couple friends that played this deck, and they said it's really fun and it can be really good. And so I did some testing with it, and I was actually doing pretty well, and I was having a blast with it, and that was the main thing. And so it's a Ho-Oh Mega Manectric deck, and we'll take a look at the main attacker first. So there's two Ho-Oh in the deck, and it's got this attack Elemental Feather, and the attack cost seems atrocious. It is a Grass, a Water, and a Lightning Energy to do 130 and then 30 to a bench Pokemon. So I mean the attack itself is great. It's kind of like an improved Darkrai, but that energy cost, man, that is pretty absurd. If it's three of the same energy cost, a lot of times we still think that makes it hard to play a deck, especially without energy acceleration. But thankfully, we've got some ways to work around that have come out more recently. So the second thing that's really cool about this is that it's got the ability Purifying Fire. And the ability says that once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon has any basic fire energy attached, you may heal 50 damage from it. So you're thinking, okay, wow, so now you want me to have a Grass, a Water, a Lightning, and a Fire energy all attached at the same time? Well, yeah, kind of. And I'll explain how that works as we go through the deck a little more. So there's your main attacker. We got two of those. Then we've got a 3-2 Manectric line, Mega Manectric line. And this is going to be one of your main ways of powering up the Ho-Oh. And so here's the base Manectric-EX. Pretty good. I actually really like Manectric-EX, just the base Manectric-EX, but it's not going to be attacking too much in this game. But Overrun is a nice setup attack, especially since we're already doing bench damage. When you do 20 and 20 to the bench, then you can when you attack with the Ho-Oh later, you can hit something maybe that you already hit for 20, and that's 50. So maybe some small basics, or it helps against Night March and that sort of thing. So that's nice. Assault Laser are a very solid attack, 60 and then 60 more if they have a tool attached. And the main idea though is to be attacking with Mega Manectric, and it's pretty bulky, 210 HP, and then the attack is Turbo Bolt, does 110 damage, and then you attach two basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So now you're kind of probably starting to get the idea of how it works. We get basic energies in the discard pile that we need to attach to Ho-Oh, and it really means that you only need to attach one energy that isn't the one that you're gonna Turbo Bolt onto it. So if you've got a Water and a Lightning in the discard pile, then you're gonna want to manually attach the Grass. Or maybe we won't even have to manually attach the Grass, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So we got Shaymin for the setup ability to help you recover your resources, and that's always good. Or not recover resources, but get set up and just really get an explosive turn one. That's what the Shaymin's for. Sky Return not too useful, but the Shaymin is definitely important. Hoopa helps us get all our EXs, so turn one usually, depending on what you have active, you want to go for a Ho-Oh, a Manectric, and a Shaymin if you need the draw power. So that's kind of what Hoopa's in here for. It does have this retreat cost, which isn't great, but that's the idea behind the Hoopa. Then we've got the Smeargle, which is really, really helpful. It has this ability, Second Coat, and once during your turn, you can switch a basic energy card attached to your active Pokemon with a different that's in your discard pile. So since we're playing so many different basic energies, it's perfect. It's perfect for setup, and it helps you get that fire energy attached every once in a while when you need to. If you want a Purifying Flame, especially if you've got the if you've got 4 energies on, then you can if you had 2 grasses, for example, then you can switch a fire on for a grass, and then you've got 1 of each energy, which it seems crazy, but you'll see how it works. And then I needed a backup attacker that was ideally a non-EX attacker. Mostly this is for could be for safeguarders, but also Regice. The deck has a lot of trouble with Regice because it has nothing that can get around Regice except for if you Lysandre or that type of thing. And then also I was having trouble with the Greninja matchup a little bit, mostly just because when you have all EXs, they don't have to take as many prizes. But when they have this Zapdos coming at them, especially if you throw a Fighting Fury Belt on, it's going 160, which is pretty solid amount for a basic. And the Raging Thunder attack with the Fighting Fury Belt does 130, which is enough to knock out your Greninjas. So it's really helpful, especially since against the Greninja matchup, you just have to get out ahead of them. And so you do 40 damage to one of your bench Pokemon, but usually you'll throw it on a Manectric, and then you can heal it later with Rough Seas. There's 2 Battle Compressor, mostly to get your energy in the discard, but also gets your tech supporters in the discard. We've got 3 Max Elixir. That's the other way of you getting your attackers powered up, especially when you're planning to get the turn 2 Turbo Bolt or the turn 2 Elemental Feathers here. So it helps you too because it can help you decide what energies to put in the discard after you get one with a Max Elixir. So if you get the Water Energy, then you know, okay, maybe I want to put a Lightning and a Grass in the discard. So with the Battle Compressor or with my Ultra Balls. So the rest of it's pretty standard fare for the most part. You've got Switch, mostly because you've got some heavy. You have a lot of bad starters, honestly. The best starter for you is Manectric. I've noticed I kind of like Smeargle as a starter too, but even still, it doesn't have free retreat. So since you're going to most likely want to attack with Manectric first, that's your best starter. Ho-Oh is a great attacker, but because of the 2 retreat costs and the fact that you can't Max Elixir to the active, you get in some situations where it would just be really slow to power up manually. So that's not great. The Mega Turbo, just every once in a while, it helps you get that turn 2 Mega Manectric or maybe a late game Mega Manectric. So really helpful there. Trainers Mail just to help us get through the deck quicker. Ultra Ball, VS Seeker, we know all these. These are standard fare. AZ, Hex Maniac, pretty typical these days. Hex Maniac good against that Greninja matchup too. 1 Lysandre. There's 2 N and 3 Sycamore, a little low on the draw supporters. And then the kind of surprise tech supporter here I think would be the Skyla. Skyla's not used a ton these days. But if you don't have an Ultra Ball and you get a Skyla turn 1 or you get the Battle Compressor and the VS Seeker turn 1, then you can get yourself an Ultra Ball turn 1 to get Hoopa, and really all you need is the Hoopa to set up. So really fantastic. Skyla is great, and it also helps you get like the Spirit Links every once in a while, or maybe you need to get the Fighting Fury Belt, maybe you need the Stadium in a Trevenant matchup. A lot of times with the Trevenant matchup, it all comes down to getting either a Fire Energy on your Ho-Oh or just healing with Rough Seas with your Manectrics. So, and then we've got the energy count here, a little funky, but especially since I just like to use all my different kinds of energies that I've got. So we've got the 2 fire for the Ho-Oh's ability, and then 3 grass, 3 water, and then 5 electric because you're going to be attacking with Manectric more often, and Zapdos as well. It needs the 2 lightning 1 colorless. So that's the deck. And the next video is going to be my first round in the PokeBeach tournament, and you can see how the deck performs. See you then.